Okay, welcome ladies and gentlemen. It's round 9 of the British Touring Car Championship at Racecentre at our headquarters here in Bankstown at Entertainment Park. As I said, it is round 9 of 15. Tonight we've got 5 10-minute races, each lap consisting of 3.916. But before we get into that, I want to introduce both my commentators tonight. I've got the beautiful Jack MacKenzie joining us. How are you, buddy?
I am very good, thanks, and I am very excited. If anything, if last race at Eastern Creek was anything to go by, this is going to be an absolute cracker, and it's one of the highlights of my week. Thank you very much for having me back.
No worries. Great to have you back, Jack. And also my other buddy that's usually with me at Entertainment Park, Dave Evans. How are you going, mate?
Yeah, doing pretty good. Thanks, Shane. Thanks for having me. I only just realised that we've got British touring cars on Brands Hatch, which is the British track, so it's absolutely perfect. Hopefully you guys are ready for some exciting racing here tonight, and I can't wait to see what happens throughout the night.
Well, we do have our big hitters tonight, and we'll show you the championship table as it stands just before round 9 begins. Harrison Tebb out 10 points ahead of David Baker. The top 4 really are staying stable in the championship. The biggest mover from the last round was Scott Flack, who climbed 3 spots after the last round. Daniel Pedisano also moving up 3 spots as well. So big climbers there. Scott Fitzsimons and couldn't be with us again tonight, so he's slipping down. Christian Con's returning tonight, so keep an eye out for the only rear-wheel drive on track. He's lapping pretty well in the quali, which we're currently in at the moment. Bryce Roll slipping in P9, and Matthew Pritchard makes it in the top 10, climbing 2 spots to be there present in the top 10, and he'll be here tonight to climb further up that ladder. So what we've got, Brands Hatch, 5 10-lap races, and we've got some names, and we'll show you the qualifying as it stands at the moment. We're 4 minutes in, so let's go. At the moment, Scott Flack just taking pole from Wayne Walker at the moment. It is provisional. We haven't finished, as we see David Evans. David.
Yeah.
David Baker.
I'm commentating, not racing.
Yes, I gotcha. David Baker out in the Entertainment Park Ford Focus. He's out there at the moment as well, punching laps in. Turn 1 is a difficult one, Jack. It's off camber, very fast flying sweeper that really gets a lot of drivers off guard.
Yeah, no, I was just about to say, it's business as usual in qualifying. Everybody is just as close as they have been all season. The top 4 are currently and provisionally within a second of each other, and I'm expecting a few more to join that within 1 second club. But yes, Paddock Hill Bend is a fairly unassuming corner if you look at it. Well, I mean, aside from the elevation change. But if you disrespect the corner, it will catch you out and you will end up in the gravel traps. So I wouldn't actually be surprised to see a lot of drivers exiting stage left, particularly on the first laps as they try and make up positions going into turn 1. But this track, well, actually that goes for a lot of the track. A lot of the corners seem fairly unassuming. There aren't that many of them either, but if you disrespect them, you will end up in the grass or in a gravel trap. So it's going to be really interesting to see how these drivers negotiate this circuit tonight.
Well, there are a lot of corners. We've got track limits now on, which is available through R Factor 2, and it's very punishing on this circuit. So through quali, it's definitely going to pull the guys up, and there's a lot of places you can definitely run off track here, which will definitely disallow the flying qualifying lap. But in the race, it's a bit lighter, bit more lenient. But in qualify, we don't. This is great to make sure that all the qualifying laps are fair to the other drivers. So
and I think those penalties are actually catching a few of these drivers out, because Matthew Pritchard has set 4 laps, but is still yet to actually set a valid lap time. So I think those track limit penalties might be catching a few of these guys out almost certainly.
Yes, there are a couple of. I mean, the natural flow of this circuit is to take a couple of the curves quite heavily, which we're watching Pritchard on at the moment, and he's just taken that curve quite well. But yeah, clip the white line or half the car through that line, and yeah, you're definitely gonna void that lap. I think this one's gonna stick with him. It looks very clean. He's just got the last corner to go, which again in itself is another unassuming corner because you can find yourself off to the left as well. Another off camber, fast flowing corner coming onto the main straight. Let's see if he posts the time. There he goes. Pritchard moving up into P8. Probably very conservative there. He's just gone off in Paddock Hill Bend. Druids is definitely going to catch a lot of guys out. You're definitely for the hairpin at the top of the hill just after turn 1. That's a tight one that's going to see a lot of cars come undone there. And we're also around the circuit. We've got Surtees. Surtees is definitely a very, I personally can't struggle in that corner. It's like a blind commitment. You really have to commit to a line that you're not sure what the exit is, and just hope that the apex is going to be there at the end. Then it's a long run down Pilgrim's Drop and into Hawthorne Bend. Whether the guys drop it into another gear just to get the car to rotate, or they try and throw the momentum through that corner and maximize the time there. Then it's a quick run across the top of the hill, Derek Minner straight down Westfield Bend. Dingledell Sheens is a great corner. Pretty much as I look at it, most of them, the majority of these corners are off camber. Sterling's is definitely one that's cambered to suit the drivers to really get the car in the pocket and drive that car out of there for a long run down Clearway Straight. And all they need after that is Clark Curve onto the main straight, Brabham Straight. So yeah, we're going to see a lot of action with the 5 races tonight. Brands Hatch with the British touring cars. Any British track with these cars is built match made in heaven. So hopefully we'll give you guys a great big show tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And as I said at the top of the broadcast, if the last round of the championship is anything to go by, this is going to be absolutely incredible. I remember one of the races we had last time, the leading driver was in first place on the final corner of the final lap of one of the races and was 9th by the finish line. So if that is an indicator of the unpredictable nature of this racing series, then we are most certainly in for a treat, and that is why it is probably one of the highlights of my week, as I also said, because this is incredibly exciting, and I think you'd be hard-pressed to find any more exciting racing action almost anywhere in the world.
Yes, definitely a great combination, and like you said, the last round provided some of the best racing we've ever seen at Racecentre and on the stream. So definitely we're looking forward to that after the buzz of last round. So we want a lot more of that tonight at Brands Hatch. Okay, so qualifiers finished. Where do we finish up? Looks like Scott Flack ahead of Wayne Walker. The guys are just returning back to pits now.
It's a quality field as always. The top 4 are all within 1 second of each other, so it should be pretty bumper to bumper action tonight if qualifying is anything to go by. Although I do think a few of the drivers would have been caught out by the track limits, as Troy. Well, actually, yeah. So a lot of these drivers set a lot of laps, but couldn't quite get close enough to the top times at the front of the field. So here is our grid for race 1 of the evening. So it's Scott Flack on pole position, followed by Wayne Walker in 2nd place. It's Matt Collins lining up in 3rd position, with Harrison Tebb joining him on the 2nd row of the grid in 4th. David Baker lines up 5th, with Alperaxu lining up in 6th. Christian Cond and the Seoul Subaru Lavorg lines up in 7th place with Matthew Pritchard in 8th position, ahead of Uri Benak in 9th position, and Troy Cieslawski rounds off the top 10 and actually rounds off the entire field.
Attention grid, will all non-essential personnel leave the grid now?
We see Scott Flack on the inside, Wayne Walker right next to him, and Matt Collins, second row with Harrison Tebb. Very tight bunch. Here we go, revs are rising. Six laps. Pritchard getting a great start up the front there, jumping Scott Flack. Will he get the round, but Wayne Walker's got the inside very carefully around the outside of turn 1. Pritchard smashing it up the inside to have the better line up in the Druids on the hairpin. Guys are all forming through very nicely as we go back through the field.
And it's close racing up the front as usual, with Harrison Tebb mounting a challenge on Scott Flack, just getting through into 3rd position there. Surprisingly, everybody's gotten through very, very cleanly. Nobody went off stage left into the first corner. The only one who's fallen to any distance behind is Troy Cieslawski. But the battles are already raging up the front, with Harrison Tebb under pressure from Scott Flack, as Scott Flack taking to the grass to try and get past the other Mercedes driver in front of him. Will he try and make a move at the bottom of the hill? Not on this occasion. But Harrison Tebb trying to look for a way. Oh, and now Paraxu off in the background, hitting the barriers hard, and the pink Ford Focus off into the gravel traps. Is anyone else involved in that? I'm not sure they were.
No, I think that was a solo one, although we see Troy Cieslawski coming up the back there. A bit of a tap from Alpha. It's easy to get loose on these. We saw Harrison Tebb and Wayne Walker as they're fighting hard on screen, as we're watching at the moment, running down the straight on the curves onto the main straight. It's getting very tight up the front there. Baker's licking his lips right behind, so is Scott Flack there, that's dropped a couple of spots as they come back onto the main straight.
And Harrison Tebb tried a very ambitious switchback on Wayne Walker in front of him, and Scott Flack off the road, and that's going to cost him a bucket load of positions. He's already dropped to 6th place. Scott Flack dropping out of 4th place as it looked like David Baker, he came together with David Baker, which looked like it caused a few problems. So then there were 2. It's the battle for 2nd and 3rd now, and meanwhile Matt Collins is benefiting very much from this as he's extending his lead at the front of the field. It currently sits at 1.3 seconds.
Yeah, the gap, Wayne Walker, Harrison Tebb still out chasing Matt Collins. The bickering between these two is letting Collins stretch it out as he posts his opening lap with a 1:38, and the gap already at 1.5 seconds. The field stretching out. We said Baker, I'm not too sure if he actually clipped, and that's what flipped Flack into the outside of turn 1, but Pritchard now splitting these two. So we love watching the guys throw the front end to the corner. Pritchard just going wide there, clipping some pebbles, but he's made it back on in front of Flack. Christian Cond in the Subi is settling in at P7, probably really struggling with this rear wheel car, but he loves it. He can't get enough of the Subi, so good on him.
Sorry to interrupt, but the battle is very much hotting up for 2nd place. Wayne Walker and Harrison Tebb couldn't be closer together if they tried. Tebb has been a magnet to the back bumper of that Ford Focus for about half a lap now, as Harrison Tebb all out of shape. The car was sliding sideways going through turn 1 here, but he managed to hold on to it, and he's still just behind Wayne Walker as he's muscling his way through on the inside. Can Teb get it done? Going into turn 3, can he hang it round the outside? It looks like there might be a chance. Not on this occasion. Teb off in the grass, and he slots in behind Wayne Walker. He's looking for the opportunity, but it's not going to happen quite yet. But he's still a magnet, as I said, to the car in front of him, and it could not be closer.
Yeah, Wayne Walker really keeping his elbows out to keep Teb at bay, and he had the better run into the next corner, which gave him the position back, but Teb's really not letting go of this one. He's got the inside, he'll get the better line for Hawthorn. Front end, will he run wide? Yes, he does.
Run wide.
Yeah, Walker was smart enough to just let him go and make that mistake.
You've got to get it exactly right here. If you're even slightly offline, you'll probably end up in the gravel traps, and Teb has found that out the hard way. Luckily, he hasn't lost too much time at all, as he's right back on the bumper of Walker in front of him again. And I wouldn't be surprised if he actually tries a move going into the final corner, and he does, but it's not going to happen. Walker putting up a stout defense against the Mercedes behind him, and now it remains to be seen, is Harrison Teb brave enough to try and make a move into turn 1? Surely not. And he's thought better off it on this occasion, but what's his run going to be like? It's very, very good. He's right behind Walker. Is he going to make a lunge into turn 2? Again, he's right there, but the room just isn't there. Walker's putting that forward focus in all the right places, and Teb currently doesn't have an answer for him, although if he senses an opportunity, I'm sure he will be very much inclined to take it.
Yeah, we see them actually catching a little bit on Collins. The gap is stretched, but we can still see him in the picture, so he hasn't run away with it that much. Walker's now settling into the race, 4 laps of 6. The races are going really quickly as these guys are getting faster and faster with each lap as we go throughout the night.
I would say the action's not quite as crazed as it was at Sydney Motorsport Park, but this battle for second and third is making it very, very tense. Teb isn't making moves lap after lap after lap, but he is staying right with Wayne Walker, and he knows if he just gets the right run and if the opportunity presents itself, he will be able to make a move, and that's why this particular battle is so exciting. With the last round we had, there was a lot of deep braking zones where Brands Hatch is very much a flowing circuit. So if you come off or get stuck, it's really hard to catch up because the train's already gone, and the opportunity to get back into the group is next to none. You've just got to hold your position, hope for someone else to make a mistake and collect when that happens, as we saw Alba Aksu coming off earlier in the race as got past Uriah Benak. Christian Cond has just made a move down the inside of Matthew Pritchard, moving his Subaru Levorg up into 6th place. And Alparaksu is bringing himself into the fray for the battle of the midfield. So Cond currently leads this little train in 6th place, with Pritchard stuck in the middle and Aksu probably closing in, and he'll probably be looking to make a move within the next couple of laps. He is running out of time though, as Collins is just edging towards the end of the lap he's currently on, and that'll bring us to what in America would be known as the white flag.
Yes, we're on the second last lap. These three are the closest, but we've still got the battle with Walker and Teb, and there is Collins. He must be struggling on those tyres, because this battle is ensuing up front as we're coming up to a back marker.
Back markers, yeah.
And who's that in the second of the... that's Troy Jaslowski in the second of the shredded wheat Ford Focus. We'll go back up the front because we've got 2 3-way battles now. One for P1 and the next for P6 with Con Pritchard Axcu.
Con's starting to build a little bit of a gap to the cars behind him, so it looks like this battle will probably be between Walker and Teb. However, the gap between Walker is starting to open up a bit, as he's actually starting to close in on Matt Collins. So I wouldn't actually put put a last lap pass for the lead or for second place or for any of these positions out of the question. This could be a very, very close finish as Wayne Walker is getting closer and closer and closer to Matt Collins in front. The gap is just over 0.3 of a second now, and it's a forward-focused battle at the front. This could be a very, very thrilling conclusion to this race. Matt Collins has got probably just 2/3 of a lap to hold on, but Wayne Walker, he was looking to the inside, but the opportunity wasn't just there. Matt Collins, though, he's going to get every single corner right until the end. Harrison Tebb, he looks like he's going to be out of it now as he's dipped a wheel or two into the grass, and he's fallen away from first and second place. But Walker and Collins are right with each other. Walker is all over the back bumper of Collins in front. He's got one corner to make this work, and maybe an opportunity going down the straight. What's their braking like? They're pretty evenly matched, and it looks like Matt Collins is going to hold on by a fraction. Oh, Wayne Walker's going for it. It's a race to the line, but Matt Collins ultimately is victorious on this occasion, but it was not by much at all. It was 0.6066 of a second separating the two. It couldn't have been closer if they tried.
And Christian Conn coming across the line there with Alpha Axe Scoop. Matthew Pritchard must have struggled to fall back into P8. And Uriah Banak will finish in P9 with Troy Cieslawski P10. We might just extend each race as lap 6 definitely provided a great finish. What was the gap there? Like 0.066 of a second, 6/100. So not much after 6 laps. Great fight back.
Yeah, I think the story of that race was first, second, and third there. That was a very, very thrilling battle. I wasn't expecting it to be as close as it was at the end, but Walker kept Collins honest right until the very end, and that was a thoroughly entertaining race, and we've still got plenty more racing action to go. And here are your final results. It's Matt Collins winning the race by a fraction, with Wayne Walker finishing in second place. Harrison Tebb couldn't quite get the move done for second place, but finishes a very respectable third. It's Scott Flack in fourth position, and the other of the Mercedes, with David Baker finishing in fifth. Christian Condon, the sole Subaru Levorg, finishes in sixth, with Alparaksu finishing in seventh. Matthew Pritchard finishes eighth, and Uri Benak finishes 9th, with Troy Cieslawski, a tough race for him, unfortunately, finishes in 10th place with a DNF. But that was thoroughly entertaining nonetheless.
Tahi, tell them about Entertainment Park.
Well, this place, it's like, it's...
My favourite place in the world!
The thing about this place is that...
It's fun for all ages, no matter what your age. You'll love it.
What I really want to say about Entertainment Park is,
They have the best go-karts, plus a great cafe. Games, bowling, simulation, but the go-karts, oh my God, they are so much fun.
look,
Yeah, I'm still
the
here.
thing is that this place is...
Perfect for my birthday party. Everyone said it was the best birthday party ever. Yeah!
Is it okay now?
What I really want to say about this place is...
Just say it!
Yeah,
It's a fully hectic, oh my God, venue.
I couldn't really see what was going on. But,
Finally! Entertainmentpark.com.au. And as Tahi says, it's hectic.
And oh my God.
Yeah, I think so. All right, we'll do that.
Goody. was that, sorry?
So we can afford to break later. Still got 2 laps to do the job. But we love the show they're creating at the moment, just coming out of the stadium onto the main straight. Starting the second lap. Oh, and he's just blocked the inside. There he is, side by side, trying to get past. There he goes. Marty's just got to stay with him now. But he's just ran wide there. That's Scott Flack taking the lead back. That was a great move from Scott, but Marty's still in it if he stays within the DRS down the main straight. That's 1 full lap to go plus this one. So he's just got to survive this through the turns and get out within a second and get in the DRS activation zone. Still within the second, so he's not too bad at the moment. He's just starting to fall out of that zone now, but he needs to be in there with detection. When it comes to the DRS, and there it is, a second and a half, so we won't get the DRS down the main straight. He's just got to tuck in at the front. Hitting so close to the end, I thought Marty Porter had it, but looks like he's done enough to take the winners. They're on their last lap at the moment. We've got Scott Flack, Marty Porter right next to each other within 2 seconds, within 3 seconds of each other now.
Shane, make sure you get your stream back online.
Yeah, we're online. Thank you, Jack.
No, the Discord one. There we go.
Okay, we're back for race 2, ladies and gents. Reverse grid this time. So we've got some of the slower guys up the front. Okay, if race 1's anything to go by, look out for race 2. Okay, we've got Troy Zaslavsky on the, slipping down. You can see the front wheel spin, getting caught up with Baker there, coming down the main straight as they come down the first corner. Uri Banak also getting swamped there, but he makes it through. Come up into Druids. Christian Pond up the front there, taking Druids in. Harrison Tebb going straight ahead.
Is Matthew Pritchard going to benefit from this? It looks like he's going to get both of them done in that corner as Tebb pushed Con wide. He's hanging it around the outside, but I don't think he's going to get it done on this occasion as Harrison Tebb is just starting to build a little bit of a lead over the drivers behind him as Aksu now having a look to the inside of Christian Cond. So Cond losing quite a few positions, unfortunately, at the start of this race, but he won't drop down to 5th on this occasion, but he is under a lot of pressure. Meanwhile, Harrison Tebb, he leads the field away with Matthew Pritchard starting to build a slight lead over Wayne Walker behind him, and the battle is once again kicking off in the midfield.
Yeah, Harrison Tebb just dropping a little bit in the dirt out in front there, but he's managed to save it really good. We've got Matthew Pritchard coming in second with a big train of cars coming behind us. Everyone seems to be losing it at the top of the hill there. A few guys running wide onto the dirt, but no positions lost for either of the drivers. So this race is going to get exciting from here, as we can tell by the start of the second race. So get ready, folks.
Matt Collins with a huge commitment down the inside of Christian Conn. That was very, very brave of him. And now this has opened up the door for Albaraxu. And Scott Flack isn't going to die wondering, as he's taken the opportunity to go down the inside of Albaraxu into turn 1. That was also very brave. So it looks like these drivers, they might have been a little bit subdued in race 1 compared to what we're used to, but they are fired up for race 2.
Yeah, we've got Scott Flack and Albaraxu making contact in that midfield there between everyone fighting over position. So this is, and Scott Flack's just gone onto the grass, and David Baker's now getting himself back into the mix after that earlier mistake. So he's back onto this train down in 8th place. So everyone is all fighting for position. So I can't wait to see what happens.
Oh, it looks like Scott Flack has just used his straight line speed to get by Christian Conn, but Conn isn't gonna go down without a fight. He tried to get the place back from Scott Flack, but it's not gonna happen on this occasion, and this has opened up the door pretty much for both Axu and Baker behind. So this battle really, really kicking off in the midfield. If Flack wants a chance to be in contention, he needs to get away from these guys, but that doesn't look like it's really gonna happen on this occasion, as the battle firing up around pretty much from 5th down to 8th.
It looks like out the front, Teb stretching away from Pritchard. Pritchard wants to make amends for that last race, not his best one as he fell back, but now he's up in P2 where he wants to be. He's just got to defend himself ahead of Wayne Walker, and here comes Matt Collins as well. Teb posting the fastest lap of the race at 1:34, but these guys, Collins up the inside, just under brakes, clips Walker in the rear, but both professionally with their racecraft get through, no harm done. Great racing. This is what we want. This is the bumper to bumper racing that we've asked for, and Con just getting loose on the dirt there. You can see the false turf offline there. That's all laid with concrete blocks filled with grass. So not the best runoff there, but he's managed to keep it going and remain in P6.
Yeah, Matt Collins, he got a great run out of the first corner to try and get by on Wayne Walker, but Walker put up an absolutely great defense, and Collins wasn't able to get by. So great driving from the two of them, but Matt Collins once again all over the back of Walker, and this battle is pretty much continuing from race 1, as Collins is doing everything he can. Oh, it looks
Teb's
like
off at the front, allowing Pritchard up the inside. And it's forced Teb out wide again, and here comes Walk. Oh my God! Here we go, 5-car run for P1. Here we are. We're on. I'm loving it.
This is it. It's fired up now. So that little mistake from Teb has brought the midfield battle into it. Oh, and Harrison Teb's going backwards. Matt Collins and Wayne Walker have both gone by, and it looks like Flack's going to try it round the outside of turn 1. This could get very dangerous. Can Flack make it stick? It's not going to happen on this occasion, but I wonder what it was that caused Teb to drop back so far. Scott Flack, he's going to send it down the inside of turn 2. Can he muscle his way by? It looks like he will. And they're 3 wide up at the front of the field as well. Matt Collins is temporarily in the lead, but Pritchard is going down the inside as well. And it looks like all of these drivers want the lead at once. Oh, and they're all off in the background as well.
Flack's off.
It's all kicking off. It's too hard to follow.
Walker's through the back now, dropped back down to second, and we've got Teb back up the front. How does this happen?
Pritchard's off the road,
yeah,
and he's going to drop a bunch of positions as well, but he's been slightly saved by the fact that a few of the drivers went off in the back as well. But meanwhile, this battle still rages at the front of the field, as the 3 cars are pretty much held together by a magnet, as Harrison Teb runs off the road, and we have a new leader. It's Wayne Walker going through, and Teb manages to hold on to the car, surprisingly not losing too many positions. But now Matt Collins has decided he wants it, and he's going to send it down the inside of Wayne Walker. Can he make it happen?
Oh, look at the commitment. Look at the driving from these guys. That's 2 abreast through that fast sweeping right-hander into the on-cambered left-hand turn.
Oh, and Christian Conn off in the background, and he's dropping a few positions as well. And let's not forget, while the battle rages on at the front, there's also a battle for the midfield as well. David Baker and Scott Flack are pretty much side by side at the moment. Will Flack try to switch back? It looks like he will. He's going to try and drive past David Baker before they get down to turn 1. Oh, there's a crash in the background. Christian Kond and Alparaksu together. I'm out of breath.
Twisted, guys. This is too much.
We're on lap 5 of 8, and I'm glad we've still got plenty of racing action left, as this battle at the front of the field is far from over. Who knows? Even Uri Benak could be in the lead of the race by the end of this one. You really have no idea, even though he's 28 seconds off the back of the lead. But the battle still rages at the front. There was a small mistake from Harrison Tebb there as he ran off into the grass.
Pritchard and Baker.
Yeah, and it looks like Pritchard has just dropped a position to David Baker as the battle continues to rage on in the midfield. I really don't know where to look at the moment. This is the touring car action we came here for. And whilst we're watching the battle in the midfield, it looks like the battle is also raging at the front. Let's see what Wayne Walker's run is like out of the final corner. It looked to be a little bit better than Matt Collins, although I think... Will he try and move into turn 1? He was having a look, but it didn't look like he was going to get it done on this occasion. Although it'll be down to the run out of the first corner.
We've got Pritchard off on turn 1, going wide. He's hit the barriers, but he's managed to bounce back on track to rejoin in P7. Not too sure what happened there. Christian Kond advancing up into P6 and Baker into P5. So massive stack there. So we've got the top 4 coming together now. We can see him getting oh so close as Collins is now looking in his windscreen mirror thinking, is this deja vu? Did I not just do this last race watching a big yellow Ford Focus in my rear vision mirror? But here it comes. It's on again. The tyres are starting to wear off. You can see how much wheel work they have to get the cars to turn in. So this is something pretty special.
Yeah, and Alpa Aksu has just gone round in 8th place. That's his second mistake on the same lap, so he's lost a heap of time. And I'm just keeping an eye on the YouTube chat as well for this live stream. We've got a couple Harrison Tebb supporters in the chat, so shout out to Lachlan and Christian for watching. They're on the Harrison Tebb train at the moment, so good to see them there watching the live stream. Well, and I've also picked up that Troy Kozlowski has picked up another DNF towards the start of the race, so that's a shame for Troy.
Yeah, he's been with us quite a long time, and he's, if you don't know Troy, he's Queensland based, and he offers his flagging expertise when he officiates the Townsville race and all the Gold Coast and Queensland raceways. So if you're ever out there on the local track and you see a flag marshal, maybe his name might be Troy Kozlowski. So great effort, and he even travels down to Bathurst to flag at the Bathurst 1000. So the guy gets around and loves his motorsport. As we see Flack trying to get up the inside of Harrison Tebb.
There's also been a change for the lead, as Wayne Walker is now in the lead of this one. I think Matt Collins has made a little bit of a mistake, but you are right, this battle is raging on most certainly for 3rd and 4th as well, as Flack is only just ahead of Harrison Tebb.
Yeah, Matt Collins actually went wide off the road, which gave Wayne Walker the lead, as you just mentioned, Jack. And we got David Baker and Christian Kond now looks like to be fighting over for that 5th. So good little battle between those two. As we can see, Baker looks like he's... Yeah, I'm getting tongue twisted as well, Shane. So David Baker really put in on a good defensive drive in against Christian Kond to hold on to that 5th.
The action is happening faster than our brains can process it, and that is exactly the type of racing action you want. This is what we need in our lives. So, the battles at the front of the field are starting to spread out a little bit as a couple of these drivers have made mistakes. So Matt Collins, as we know, has made a mistake, and Harrison Tebb is starting to drop away from Scott Flack. However, the battle is starting to heat up between Baker and Christian Cond here. So this will probably be the battle that sees us through to the end of the race, although you really never know. As can Cond stay on the back of Baker coming out of turn 1? What's his run been like? He's too far back to make a move on this occasion, but Baker, he's only just ahead of Cond. He's certainly closed him down in that Subaru Levorg, and Baker's got it all to do to hang on to this 5th place at the moment, and running off into the grass is certainly not helping him. So Cond, he's just sitting there, he's just waiting for Baker to make a mistake behind, and this really could go either way just in the closing stages of this race. Cond, he gets a good run out of the corner heading down towards the hill. Baker's on the defensive. He's put that Ford Focus right in the middle of the road, and he's making it nigh on impossible for Cond to get by on this occasion, but that Subaru is still right there with him.
Yes, Baker taking the inside line, very defensive, but Cond might get him on the inside with a great run. And there he goes, he gets a better exit as we go into the next turn. Cond advancing one spot, Baker falling back. Both drivers racing here at Entertainment Park on our full motion simulators, and they're right next to each other on track as well. So we're on the last lap and coming across the start finish line. Jack.
Yes, I was just about to say, it was Wayne Walker. He's come out of the final corner, and he's gotten that first place he couldn't get in race 1. It's Matt Collins in 2nd place, with Scott Flack finishing 3rd. Harrison Tebb rounds off in 4th position, and Christian Cond on the final lap getting past David Baker to finish 5th, with the latter finishing in 6th. Matthew Pritchard, he's racing to the line against Alperaksu. Oh, and he's forced him a little bit wide. Can Maxu get by? I think
he's taken it. He's taken it from Pritchard, but great driving there from the pair. And we've also got Uri Banak just rounding out the rear of the field there. So, wow. Okay, so mid-race, what a race that was. 8 laps. We've extended each race to 8 laps. So, yes, this is going to bring us better racing, I think. The guys have got to really look after their fronts, the front left in particular, as it is a clockwise circuit. So you can see towards the end of the race, the guys really sliding and giving us plenty of action to keep it hold of. All right, we're going to read out the results, get ready for race 3. And just bringing up the results now.
And there we are. It's Wayne Walker taking the first position that he couldn't get in race 1. So the yellow Ford Focus has its revenge after Matt Collins made a mistake, although he still hangs on for a very respectable 2nd place. It's Scott Flack in 3rd position ahead of Harrison Tebb in 4th in that Mercedes. It's Christian Cond, who on the final lap managed to get by David Baker, who finishes in 6th position. Alperaksu at the 11th hour managed to get by Matthew Pritchard to finish 7th. Matthew Pritchard, of course, finishing in 8th. Uri Banak finishing in 9th. And Troy Chislowski, unfortunately, only finishing the 1st lap. And that's another DNF for him. But that was another enthralling race. And we'll now move on to our next race of the evening after this commercial break.
There's a new whiskey in town, one that embodies the strength and character of our people, that dares to do it our own way, crafted by a master distiller to create something uniquely Australian. Ned, Australian Whiskey.
Okay, welcome back, race 3, ladies and gentlemen. If you enjoyed the first 2, strap yourself in for race 3. We're spending our time catching our breath, so I hope you guys are as well. And make sure you hit subscribe and get the notifications for the next round if you love the action. But Jack, it's been something special tonight.
It most certainly has. Every single race for multiple positions has come down to the last lap, and I'm expecting more of the same action. And I think you were right to extend these races to 8 laps, because I can't get enough of this British touring car action. So let's get ready for race number 3 of the evening. It's going to be Uri Benak who leads the field away as we are underway for race number 3 of the night. It's Alparaksu. He's in the lead at the moment, and they're 4 wide going into turn 1. This could be a plane crash here, but it looks like they're going to hold on for the time being.
We've got one off out on the outside. I think that's Pritchard. Unfortunately, we've got a big pile up on the inside of and Christian Conn and Teb getting crossed up there. I can see Christian Conn just getting crossed up on the wheel, and he's back in the grasses. Teb's up in P6. Alpaksku doing a great job holding the boys off, and so is Uri Benak having a better race this time. Race 3, a godsend for these two as they're stretching out the long train down the back straight as we're on our first opening lap.
And the battle's pretty much resumed from the last race, as it's Harrison Tebb, David Baker, and Scott Flack pretty much racing nose to tail at the moment. And Baker, he's just hanging on to that Mercedes A-Class as Baker drifts it through that corner, trying to stay on the back of Harrison Tebb. These guys, they're not even trying for overtakes necessarily at the moment, but just the driving alone is exciting enough at the moment. And at the front of the field, they're nose to tail at the moment. It's Alparaksu. He's leading the field away. Uri Benak is in second place. And Matt Collins, he goes down the inside. This is going to be a brilliant challenge for second place. Can he get by on this occasion? Not quite. Is he going to maybe try it into turn 1? Meanwhile, Harrison Tebb and Scott Flack are side by side. We've got 2 by 2 going into turn 1. Matt Collins down the inside. Scott Flack struggling to hold on to that car. And the 2 Mercedes are side by side once again. Uri Benak challenging Matt Collins down the inside. He's going to try reclaim second place as Tebb and Flack are still duking it out. Looks like, oh, and there's contact between Benak and Collins. Collins trying to get through, and there's so much action at the moment, I don't know where to look. Tebb and Flack have been side by side for about 5 corners now, and it looks like they're just heading down the hill once again. Their line astern, and wow, they're very, very, very close to each other. Matt Collins leading this train at the moment, and this is all benefiting Alparaksu.
Yeah, this shot really showing how sideways these cars are and how crazy it is to stay on this tiny track with these tiny cars. Look at the front end just digging in, and the rear's coming out, and they try to catch it as they get back on circuit. But Scott Flack just advancing ahead of Tab, getting sideways, getting a front.
Whoa!
Oh, he's lost a couple of spots.
Moment for Scott Flack.
Yeah.
He's kept it in a straight line though, so he hasn't lost too many positions, and he's just slotted in at the back of this train. So he was probably 1 position from the front of it at the time of that incident, and he's just slotted into it again. Oh, as Harrison Tebb sends it down the inside of Benak, who was all out of shape going into the final corner there, and that's opened up the door for David Baker to go through. And oh, Benak's just falling back quite a few places at the moment. That mistake proved to be very costly given just how close these cars were together. Baker and Flack were side by side going through turn 1. Baker claims the position. He's up to 4th place. Meanwhile, Harrison Tebb, he's chasing down Matt Collins, who's in 2nd place at the moment as the battle rages on behind him. Scott Flack off the road temporarily, but he's still chasing down Baker as they're sideways once again. And all of this action in the midfield is kicking off once again, just as it did last race. It's a few different drivers who are involved in it this time, but it's just as exciting.
Yeah, we've got Wayne Walker back down in P7, but here he comes on the charge now behind Uri Banak down the back straight there. Baker and Flack still together, so too Collins and Teb up front. But Alpa Axku still P1 at the moment, doing an awesome job. And he's out by himself. He's got a 1 second lead, just under ahead of Matt Collins on screen there. So the on-screen action, the track hotting up as the track goes on. So the grip increases as we see Teb closing up on the back of Collins.
Yeah, he most certainly is, and that is a battle that's been pretty much raging on for most of the evening. Although it looks like Collins has actually gained quite a lot on Aksu. That gap's dropped between first and second by about 4/10 just on this lap alone. So Aksu might be getting a little bit busy within the next few laps, although not quite as busy as David Baker has been. He's got a hard-charging Scott Flack behind him as the Mercedes driver just challenging going into turn one. Baker holding on for this occasion.
Here comes Flack up the inside.
Here he comes. He's down the inside. Can he get the position? It looks like he does. That was a textbook maneuver from Flack, and he takes fourth place away from David Baker. Matt Collins, though, at the front of the field. Actually, this whole front of the field is starting to condense a little bit. Even the battle for fourth and fifth is getting a little bit close now. And Collins, it looks like he might have been suffering. Would that have been a slowdown penalty? I'm not sure. Whatever it was, it caused him to slow up. And this might just open the door for Harrison Teb there, who's having a look on the inside. This could be a plane crash. Teb and Collins were out of shape. Flack's on the grass behind them as well. It's all kicking off here. Collins' second place certainly isn't safe at the moment, and Flack and Baker are coming into this as well, and Wayne Walker's just catching this pack as well. Teb is right in behind Matt Collins. He couldn't be any closer if he tried. They're practically stuck together in second and third. Can Teb maybe find a way past going into the final corner? He sends it down the inside, but the room just isn't there on this occasion.
Can you guys see what I'm seeing? I'm seeing a 5-car battle ensuing for P3, and all 5 are going to be catching the front too as Collins is closing in on Axku. Teb trying to go up the inside, throw it as hard as they can. They're throwing it about 3 car lengths early, but by the time they get to the corner, it's going to be right there for them. As we see Teb trying to get up the inside of Collins. On the Exeter Druids doing a fantastic job. So this is a 3-car battle. Scott trying to get more traction on the grass or cool the tyres down, one of the two, but he doesn't lose any places. But Mr. Shredded Wheat himself has just dropped off a little bit, but he'll be back on in no time. 3 laps to go to the end of the race.
He's certainly been pushing his luck, has Scott Flack. He spent a lot of time on the grass in this race, and I'm actually genuinely surprised he hasn't binned it yet.
Yeah, Baker just going wide. I believe it was at the first corner, so he's now lost the position to Wayne Walker. Wayne Walker's really charging through the field. As we can see, Banak has now dropped down to 9th. So Wayne Walker's definitely on the charge. He's definitely up there in the lap times. He's the second fastest car out on the track, and he's really putting his foot down as hard as he can on that accelerator. And he's really catching this battle, and he's going to make the most of his chances.
We've just seen Flack.
Yeah, sorry about that. There was a costly mistake for Harrison Teb there as he ran off the road and gave up a position to Matt Collins there. So that's what we were talking about before. If you try and take these corners a little bit too ambitiously, it will cost you.
Here comes Wayne Walker right up the trail of the back of this group, and that was within 1 lap as Teb. Look at the front end just swirling all over the place. We've got to get an on cockpit action of these guys. We'll watch how Wayne Walker does it. He's a very accomplished driver. So you can see him really turning the front end in down to 3rd gear for the fast left, get that inside curve and get a good run out as we're chasing Scott Flack in P3. Are we on? No, sorry, we're on board with Matt Collins, not Wayne Walker. I do apologise. We just saw Teb just taking the inside So now it's a two-way battle. Oh my God, here we go, boys. It's on, it's on.
And it looks like Wayne Walker wants this as well. He's rubbing his hands together. If these two take each other out, he'll be right up into the podium places. And he's right behind Matt Collins. I think there was actually a bit of a touch there, as I think there may be slowdown penalties in effect at the moment, because Matt Collins got checked up hugely and has dropped down to 6th position. So that's Wayne Walker up into 4th, and he kind of was punished for that as well, as he got stuck behind Matt Collins as well. But that, yes, as we said, Walker up to 4th position, and it looks like there is a battle developing between Walker and Baker behind him. So there's certainly action all throughout the field to have a look at.
Well, we've definitely got Alpa Axcu still out in front in the pink Ford Focus. You can't miss that car. It was a winning car from last round for Braden Pritchard, who couldn't make it with us tonight with work commitments. So Alpa Axcu definitely doing justice in the same car for the Gardex team, as he just needs to hold his nerve and stay up front, but he does have a charging Scott Flack behind him, so let's see if he gets the job done.
Would this be Axu's best Racecentre result? Has he won a race before in any of the leagues that Racecentre runs?
Well, no, Alpa's just joined us for the last couple of rounds, so this will definitely be his #1 race with us at Racecentre, but definitely I'm sure it's not his first one in sim racing career. So we hope he holds on and takes the win for race 3.
Tell you what though, he's got hot property behind him. Flack knows how to do well in these touring cars, and we've seen earlier in the night a lot of these battles come down to the last lap. So Axu, he's really got to stay on it. He's got 1 lap to hold off Scott Flack. He's 1 lap away from his first Racecentre win, but I think, honestly, he's going to have to fight it. Meanwhile, a couple of positions back, Walker had a look to the inside of Harrison Tebb going into the final corner, but couldn't make it happen. But he's got a stupendous run coming out of the final corner. He's looking to the inside of Tebb. Tebb very aggressive on the defense, and this has forced Walker to the outside. He's not going to get the position into turn 1, but he's got a brilliant run on the run down towards turn 2. Walker sticking it up the inside for a podium place. It's Walker up into 3rd position.
You can really see Walker plan that from turn 1 there. Sorry, Dave, as he slowed the car down, got the car outside, and he floored it earlier than what Harrison Tebb could, and he got the run on the outside there, Dave.
Yeah, I was just going to quickly say hats off to Shane Walker. Absolutely just incredible throughout this whole race, especially from his early incident early on that first lap. So he's done an amazing job, and we have to give credit to Shane Walker for this amazing drive back.
It's Flack up the inside of Axu, and he's pushed Axu wide. Axu, who is about half a lap away from his first Racecentre win, has been pushed off into the dirt, and he looks like he's going to have to settle for second best as Scott Flack. He's got 1 corner to go, and it looks like he will probably win this.
Yeah, an unfortunate bump there. The two come together on the corner, and unfortunately, Alpha hit the grass there. Shane's brother, Wayne Walker, is in P3, and it looks like Tebb will be coming across the line for P4. David Baker close behind him. Matt Collins.
Yeah, and a really close finish between Matt Collins and Christian Conn. Christian Conn almost got side by side with Matt Collins coming out of that last corner to try and take that 6, but that was an amazing battle there in that last lap between those two. Exciting to watch. I was keeping an eye on that for that last lap, and they were making contact like on every single corner, so that was incredible racing between Matt Collins and Christian Conn for that finish line.
It takes a lot of skill to be racing around here side by side. There's the odd touch which may force you out, but all in all, these guys are doing a great job to be riding bumper to bumper around these tight corners. Brands Hatch is not the widest circuit on our calendar this season, so yeah, hats off to the guys out in front. All right, to the results.
And it has been another very exciting race from Brands Hatch. Scott Flack getting past Alparaxu on the final lap of the race to take the victory for the Laser Tools Racing Mercedes entrant. Axu, not the win this time, but a very respectable second place, and I'd expect brilliant things out of this guy in his Racecentre racing career. Wayne Walker finishes in 3rd position ahead of Harrison Tebb in 4th. David Baker finishes 5th, Matt Collins is in 6th, Christian Cond in the 1 Subaru finishes in 7th position ahead of Matthew Pritchard in 8th, and Uri Benak on his Racecentre debut, I believe, it finishes in 9th place. Oh, yes. Apologies, Uri. Welcome back to Racecentre.
Tahi, tell them about Entertainment Park.
Well, this place, it's like, it's...
My favourite place in the world!
The thing about this place is that...
It's fun for all ages, no matter what your age. You'll love it.
What I really want to say about Entertainment Park is,
They have the best go-karts plus a great cafe. Games, bowling, simulation, but the go-karts, oh my God, they are so much fun.
look, thing is that this place is...
Perfect for my birthday party. Everyone said it was the best birthday party ever. Yeah!
What I really want to say about this place is...
Just say it!
It's a fully hectic, oh my God, venue.
Finally! Entertainmentpark.com.au. And as Tahi says, it's hectic.
And oh my God.
Okay, welcome back live at Brands Hatch for the round 9 of the British Touring Car here with Racecentre. We are on race 4 as we grid up, ready for some more action for you guys at home. We're putting the slower guys towards the front just to give them a good chance at hit, and here we go. Oh, Alpa getting a great start off the front there once again, continue, and we're getting swamped down the middle here, 3 wide, a couple of cars going wide, but it's still 4 cars into the turn 1. A lot of tapping going on, but they all get through, fantastic work. Oh,
Scott Flack was nearly sent sideways as Collins is taking advantage of this, just going around the outside, and he makes the move stick up into 5th place.
we got
Yeah,
Christian.
I definitely think Alpha Axu is definitely going to be fired up for this one after what happened to him on that last lap. So yeah, I've got the gut feeling that I think
I'm not sure we've
Axu's
got
gonna be-
audio on the stream, guys.
Yes, we're back
Never mind,
on now. My mistake, we've got the audio back on, so we're good to go, Dave.
All right, so I think Alpha Axu is definitely going to be fired up for this one after what happened to him in the last race on that last lap. So I've definitely got the gut feeling that I think he's going to be determined to try and, win this one, but he's got a really fast Harrison Tebb all over the back of him. Harrison Tebb is definitely hunting his prey for that, which is that race lead. And they've got Wayne Walker coming through in 3rd, and a lot of dirt coming up in the background there between the midfielders.
And we've also had a recent change for the lead as Harrison Tebb got by Alparaxu earlier on in the lap. He just stuck it down the inside, got some more traction, and we have a new race leader. Although Axu, he's keeping him honest at the front. That gap just around 0.3 of a second as there's a few battles starting to develop. Obviously, we've got the battle between Baker and Cond, but there's also something developing between Walker, Collins, and Scott Flack is driving his way into this battle as well.
Yeah, Flack in P5 ahead of Baker, trying to get ahead, trying to get through these guys, but you can see them all overshooting turn 1, but Flack taking the nicey line on the back of Collins, who's on the back of Walker in P3. Alpha Axu just further up the road there, but it won't be long before we've got a 6-car battle for P1, and here it comes. I can see it happening already. We're on lap 3 of 8 already, Dave.
Yeah, and I'm just keeping an eye on the David Baker, Matthew Pritchard, and Christian Conn battle towards the end of the field, which is getting really, really interesting between the 3 of them now. As you can see, they're trying to chase 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in front of them. And we've got Alpha Axu, who's doing a really good job still, hanging on to the back of Harrison Tebb. He's not letting him go. And then we've got Matt Collins holding off... Shane Walker holding off Matt Collins and Scott Flack.
Wayne.
So the top 5 is getting really, really interesting. And I can't wait to see, what happens between the top 5.
I'm trying to remember who Shane Walker actually is, but we've got Wayne Walker at Brands Hatch here tonight, Dave. as he's circulating in P3 in the number 3 Shredded Wheat Ford Focus. You can see the lead cars there, the top 4 on screen now. If I go back, Scott Flack's not too far behind, and look to be a bit of a gap back to Baker. But here we go through turn 1.
And it looks like Matt Collins has gotten a fairly good run on Wayne Walker, but it wasn't quite good enough for him to make a move on this occasion. Although the battle between the top 5 is really beginning to close up. Wayne Walker is just under 0.3 of a second behind Alperaksu, and the top 5 are all together on lap 4 of 8. We've got half a race worth of racing between the top 5 to go, and this is going to be an absolute cracker. Where do we look so far? Well, it looks like Wayne Walker is under a little bit of pressure from Matt Collins behind. Aksu is tucked right in behind Harrison Tebb. He couldn't be much closer if he tried. The top 5, as we said, all running together, and this is absolutely stupendous racing.
Yes, we're on board with Wayne Walker now, right behind Alperaksu, who's trying to get up the inside of Harrison Tebb. He's got the job done. Tebb losing plenty of traction, just running off there. But Alpa's doing it in return, but he's kept it on side by side. Harrison Tebb, you watch him go around the outside. Alperaksu braking a bit early, and he's losing a lot of momentum as we see a bit of a bump from Collins on Walker. It's 4-way down the front straight, about to go down the start-finish straight.
That was a big moment for Matt Collins there. He got all crossed up, but he managed to hold on to it. I'll tell you what, this is starting to look like a pack race at Daytona, let alone a touring car race, as Tebb and Aksu are side by side going into turn 1. Can Aksu hold it round the outside? Not on this occasion. And it looks like Matt Collins has taken advantage of it and is maybe even close enough to make a move on Harrison Tebb. He had a look to the outside but couldn't get it done on this occasion. And Walker down the inside of Aksu. And as the door opened for Scott Black as well, not quite, but there's a lot of moving in this battle right at the front of the field, and this couldn't be more exciting.
We've got a couple of Mercedes, but the rest of Ford Focuses on the outside there. Mercedes on the front and rear of this field. Oh, here we go. It's going to be on again, down the back straight. Let's go to the chopper cam as we follow them down the main straight. You can see the weaving and the protection of lines, but Walker's going to watch what one guy does and follow that, and hopefully pick up a spot. Alperaksu wants that position back as he's lost a fair bit of ground there from turn 1, going too conservative. You can see the braking zones. Oh, they're both gone off, and exactly what I said, Alperaksu's just advanced. So too Scott Flack. He can sniff out any gains that he can, and he did not hesitate to move up into P3.
Harrison Tebb was having a very busy lap there. He was having to defend, but he was also mounting. Oh, and Harrison Tebb off the road and into the wall. I don't know exactly what that was, but he just seemed to just head to the right for some reason. And it looks like this battle at the front is starting to become a bit of a 4-horse race instead of a 5. Alperaksu, this is as close as it is right now. Aksu is having to defend against Flack, and all the while this is bringing Walker into the fray, and Matt Collins is extending his lead at the front. Flack looking to the inside. Can he get it done in turn 2? It's a forceful move, but Scott Flack, he gets himself up into second position, now chasing after Matt Collins, and Aksu now has it all to do to defend from the yellow Ford Focus of Wayne Walker behind.
Yes, Scott Flack moving up into P2. Alpa really conservative, taking a protection line. Just being flagged with Christian Cond. I'm not too sure what's going on there. Chasing David Baker. Stretching down the straight there. But we'll go back up the front. Collins still out in front there. And here's Flack and Aksu. Aksu's going to want this and force his way through, hopefully. Show a bit of shoulder strength and defend his position.
Collins made a little bit of a mistake. He dipped a couple of wheels into the grass, and this has brought Flack and Aksu right back into the fray, and Wayne Walker is right there with them as well. So we've definitely got a 4-car battle right at the front of the field, and this should see us through to the end. We're on lap 6 of 8, coming to lap 7. Walker, very aggressive, trying to get by Alperaksu. There was no opportunity for him on this occasion. Matt Collins' run out of the final corner isn't quite good.
Flack for the lead.
Flack dipping 2 wheels. on the grass. He's side by side with his rival, almost there. Can he make a move into turn one? This is going to be brave from Scott Flack. Oh, and now Braxu off in the background. The two Ford Focuses come together and they're off the road. And Harrison Tebb has gone straight back up into third position. And now Scott Flack has taken the lead away from Matt Collins. And there was just so much drama kicking off there, and it has killed my throat.
Jack, I can hear that as you keep going. I'll take over. We saw Walker and Axcu come together and run wide, and while we were watching that, Flack taking the lead there from Collins. Collins safely back into P2, but we've also got Baker and Cond racing side by side. These guys haven't left each other's side the whole night. I'll bring up driver focus for David Baker as we go on board.
Christian Cond was somehow developing grip on that outside line. He was just inventing it as he went along. I have no idea how he was able to hold it round the outside.
Oh, he's off.
It's gone off in the back.
And I spoke far too soon. That's the commentator's curse.
Absolutely. We've got Axcu now battling Tev for P3, and that's Wayne Walker, the shredded wheat himself. I can see him going up the inside as we break into Druids. He tried it, but Alpa finally blocks the position. And he moves up on Teb on the outside, but he won't have position for the next corner, but he's going to leave himself open. No, he's tucked in. Great defending work for Alpa Axcu against Walker. All three of them are swapping turns at the moment. We'll go back up to the chopper cam. Harrison Teb just running wide. Wayne Walker, oh, it's three wide across.
Wide.
I don't think Alpa saw Walker.
Grass.
Yes, he got forced over by Alpa. I'm not too sure if he saw that, but I'm sure Walker's going to regain his position here as he waits for these two to battle it out. You can see him gaining, coming up to the back of Teb on the inside. He'll follow that line through. That's a better one. Unless, oh yeah, see Alpa just running wide there.
Wayne Walker's taking advantage. This is the final lap. He's just made two positions in one corner. Wayne Walker's up to third position. We've got a couple corners to go, but Harrison Tebb, he's coming back at him. He had a look to the outside, but couldn't quite make it happen on this occasion. And that has opened up the door for Alparaxu to try and attack him from behind. But meanwhile, Scott Flack at the front of the field comes home to take another win for the night. The Mercedes driver coming across the line in style. Matt Collins finishes third. Wayne Walker pulls away from the two cars behind him.
Oh, Axcu definitely getting the job done on Teb. Great job there. And he's showing his appreciation to Harrison Teb, putting Axcu into a spin. Baker moving up into P6 and Christian Con behind there. I'm sure those two will have something to talk about at the end of this race. And Uriah Benak finishing P8. Matthew Pritchard already parking it in the garage to take P4. All right, so we've got one race to go. I really want more, to be honest. I want more of this stuff, but we'll have one more race to go after the results, and then we'll go to the messages.
So, there are your final race results. Scott Flack takes another victory for the evening, followed by Matt Collins. Wayne Walker finishes third in what was an absolutely thrilling battle towards the end of this race, holding off Alparaxu, who finishes fourth, and Harrison Tebb, who finishes fifth. David Baker, continuing his long-standing rivalry for the evening with Christian Cond, finishes sixth, ahead of Cond, of course, finishing seventh, who unfortunately ran out of grip in the closing stages of the race. Uriah Benak finishes in 8th position ahead of Matthew Pritchard, who, due to some bad luck and an unfortunate DNF, rounds off the field in 9th. And now it is time to head towards a commercial break ahead of our final race of the evening. Not final race, we've still got plenty of racing action left.
There's a new whiskey in town, one that embodies the strength and character of our people, that dares to do it our own way, crafted by a master distiller to create something uniquely Australian. Ned, Australian Whiskey.
Race 5, the last race of the night. We're very disappointed there isn't any more left. We're down to 8 drivers. Matthew Pritchard unfortunately had to leave, got an early start tomorrow. So on we go to race 5. The guys are ready. We want the whole 8 car battling it out for the next 8 laps for the full round. Here we go, lights on. And that's Wayne Walker around the outside. Then yellow shredded wheat, bright green David Baker's got to defend with Uri in the middle there. Christian Conn getting crossed up, but will they all make it through turn 1? Everyone's made it through the turn, so all good there. Up into Druids, and Baker's trying to get up the inside of Uri, but Uri's done a great job to shut that off. Up at Axcube, up into P4 now with a charging Harrison Tebb just running wide. That's going to cost him, as we see Axcube just...
Christian Con's just gone off in the background. Sorry to interrupt, Shane.
No,
but he's smashed it into the wall and he's done a full 360. So it's a real shame for Christian Con, and I'm just watching him on his driver cam, and he's definitely not happy at all with that mistake.
Alparaxu also ran into trouble as well, running wide just a few corners later, so he's dropped to the back of the train. And it looks like Wayne Walker is starting to build a little bit of a lead out front as the battle is kicking off between Benak and Baker, as Baker right down the inside, and they're also too wide on 2 rows as Flack and Teb are right back at it again. As Benak, he's down the inside of Baker, and it looks like Scott Flack wants in on the action as well. Who's going to factor out where? Flack on the outside of Teb, can he get it done? Possibly. He's trying to drag by these guys, and all the while, Matt Collins is right in the mix of this battle as well. I can't tell who's going to come out on top. This is going to be an absolutely thrilling race to watch.
Oh, Teb's just gone off in the background. Slow contact with Matt Collins. This is not sure if this is becoming British touring cars or bumper cars at the moment, but it's all very exciting stuff between Benak, Baker, Scott Flack, and Matt Collins. With Harrison Teb.
You're right, just running wide on Druids. They're losing about 3 or 4 positions. Sorry, Dave. Baker up the front of this pack now, still in P2. Walker's starting to run away with it. You can see the gap there already up to 2 seconds. The boys behind are definitely battling out. They want a piece of the...
Wow, and Baker all out of shape going into that corner there, and that's opened the door for Scott Flack to drive on by as well, and he's now under pressure from the drivers behind as Uri Benak. Oh, and there's contact, and this could be a big one, but it looks like they've all kept it in a straight line. It looked like Matt Collins was about to be sent sideways there, and they've all managed to keep it relatively composed there, but it's getting a little bit dangerous as Matt Collins has found a way by on David Baker as the driver of the black and green Ford Focus ran a little bit wide, which let Collins go by. And now he's under pressure from Benak behind as well. But Baker, he's fighting back. He's trying to get past Matt Collins. He's looking for any opportunity that becomes available to him. It doesn't look like there's going to be one just yet, although we'll have to see what Collins run out of the final corners like as Benak runs off the road.
Yeah, and all this squabbling has brought Harrison Teb and Alpha Axu into this battle. So this is all very exciting stuff. I'm kind of sad that this is the last race for the night. Definitely don't want this to end, and I'm sure you, Jack, and Shane will be the same. As Benak gets turned around by Alpha Axu, which is a real shame for Benak. But I think he's going to get back on the track, and then hopefully he can make up that lost time with that, getting turned around by Alpha Axu.
We've got Wayne Walker up the front, still stretching that lead to 2.7. Scott Flack trying to charge him down. He's got no distraction, so he's got the head down going forward. Matt Collins is the only threat to him at the moment, but he's got 2 cars behind him in Baker and Harrison Teb chasing Collins down.
And Matt Collins, of course, leading what is essentially the midfield battle at the moment. He's got David Baker for company, and this has kicked off pretty quickly. We're on lap 3 of 8 at the moment, and it looks like a few of these drivers are starting to spread out a little bit. Wayne Walker, the gap is 2.4 seconds at the front, and Matt Collins is about 2 seconds behind Scott Flack as well. So 3rd, 4th, and 5th, that's where the battle is going to be at the moment. They're all running sort of line astern at the moment. It's a little bit calm at the present hour, but I wouldn't expect it to stay calm for that much longer, as all of these guys are going to want every single position they can get their hands on, as we have seen from what has been an absolutely thrilling night of racing. Baker's run out of turn 1 has been slightly better than that of Collins, and that has allowed him to close the gap ever so slightly. The gap just around 0.6 of a second between these two at the moment.
Yeah, we've got Baker infield chasing down Collins with a half a second gap there. Teb's dropping off a bit behind him as we see the field starting to spread out a bit. I'm not too sure if they're going to come back together anytime soon, but as it is, it's Walker, Flack, Collins out in front with Baker, Teb, Axcu in your top 6, and then Benak Pond, unfortunately involved in that earlier incident, is down in P8 at the moment. It's good to see Christian back. He's on shift work, so he can't unfortunately make every race, so he does his best when he gets here. So it's good to have him here at Entertainment Park.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the lap times at the moment, and we got Scott Flack. He's definitely trying to bring the fight to Wayne Walker. I got that name right this time around. So Scott Flack, fastest man on the track with a 132.8, and Wayne Walker's done a 132.9. So Scott Flack is trying to match Wayne Walker with race pace here at the moment on lap 4, as we're about to get into lap 5. And I believe there was a switch for position between Christian Con and Uri Banak at the back of the field there. So nice position there for Christian Con. He's trying to make up lost time from that early incident, and we'll see if he can hunt down Alpha Axu, who's currently in 6th.
Yeah, we're just seeing him struggling to keep the rear down as he's lighting up. The rear's coming around all the corners. It's very tail happy being the station wagon, but should be balanced, but definitely being a rear wheel drive, these cars have a lot of forces. We see Manak just go out-braking himself and going straight ahead. You can see, look at the disc lighting up there. The degrees on the brake disc are probably failing as he tried to pull it up for Druids, but he falls further back in P8 to Christian Cond in P7.
Yeah, I think this is possibly the first race of the night, and possibly the first race that I've seen in the touring cars that the grid is actually starting to spread out a little bit. Most of these drivers are about 2 seconds apart from each other. So we're seeing a slightly different race to what we have seen. It's going to be a race where race pace is important. However, it looks like Teb and Axu are starting to close up on each other, and we might soon see a return to the absolutely crazy touring car action that we have come to know so far, because Axu has actually closed up quite a lot to the driver in front of him, and his run out of the final corner has been a lot better.
That's Teb.
Axu,
So that's... You go, Jack.
No, he's got Axu in behind him. No, never mind. Anyway, Mercedes versus a Ford. Axu's got the better run coming out of the first corner. Can he try and make a move into turn 2? Teb just putting that Mercedes right where he needs to. That is a textbook defensive line into turn 2 here at Brands Hatch, just parking that car on the inside and keeping the pink Ford Focus behind.
Yeah, Albert getting a good run out of that last corner, but Harrison Teb staying on the inside there. This is a good opportunity for Albert to try and get a good run and a good exit on the turn and sprint down the straight. But now he has to tack back into the back of Teb just to get the draft advantage, as Teb's too strong there. Early braking, just coasting, trying to get the car to turn through, turn into that corner. Looks like we've got Baker off just up ahead.
Oh, Teb's made a mistake. He's made a mistake, and that's allowed Axu just to get by. I was about to say, Axu did seem like the faster car for these last few laps, and he was just waiting for Harrison Teb to make some kind of mistake and leave some kind of opening, and he has taken advantage of that at the first opportunity, and now he'll probably start to try and close in on David Baker, who will be visible to him, and he will have him in his sights. Although I wouldn't put it past Teb to try and fight back and take 5th place away from Axu as soon as he can.
Yeah, we've got the front half of the field just spacing out there, at least 2.5 seconds gap between each position. So the only competitive race we've got on track now is Axu and Teb. Pond doing his best to get to the back of this group. It's with 2 laps to go, it looks like we've already got the results, but anything can happen with 2 laps to go, as we've seen before in previous races.
Yeah, I'm just keeping on the gap time between Scott Flack and Shane Walker. Wayne Walker. I've done it again. Tongue twisting all over the place here tonight. I do apologise. But yeah, just keeping an eye on the gap between Wayne Walker and Scott Flack. Scott Flack not really making any impression to catch Wayne Walker for that race lead. Wayne Walker just absolutely flying at the moment. So the only thing that Scott Flack can really hope for is that Wayne Walker makes a mistake and then Scott Flack can maybe capitalise on it. but he's got to get a little bit closer to make sure he does, in case that mistake does happen from Wayne Walker.
These guys are true professionals, so now that they've got that gap, they know they don't have to push hard, and they know they don't have to worry about their rear quarter. With these cars, all the drives from the front end of this of the vehicles for most of the cars, so when they get a slight tap from the back, it totally upsets the car, and that's why we've seen a few going pretty much off the track at 45 degrees through turn 1 and 2 and throughout other parts of the race. So now that they're out by themselves, they can really settle in, and Scott Flack's still got the fastest lap of the race with a 1:32.8. The closest behind him, our leader, Wayne Walker, with a 1:32.9. But I just saw another Alpha Axco and now David Baker.
Gap has closed up significantly between these two within the last lap and a half, pretty much. A gap that was about 2 seconds closed up to as little as 0.6 of a second. So I think Baker's position really isn't all that safe. He's got about half a lap to try and hold Aksu off. But we've seen last lap passes all throughout the evening, so I'd watch this battle right until the very end. Although it is, of course, Wayne Walker at the front of the field. He's got one corner left to navigate, and he will take victory for this evening's final race. Although the battle rages between 4th and 5th, it's David Baker and Aksu. Aksu's as close as he's been all race. He's got one corner to try and make a pass on David Baker. He's right there. It's going to come down to his run out of the final corner. Has David Baker done enough?
Yes, he has.
Pink Ford Focus behind. It looks like he has, as you said. And it's David Baker who comes home in 4th place. Hold off a hard-charging Alpha Aksu, who finishes in 5th position. So it looked like they were spreading out in the closing stages, but it's been interesting right until the very end.
Yeah, Banak just making his way around the last corner, or the last couple corners, I should say, to come home to finish in 8th. So great racing from all the drivers here tonight. So many action. Yes, a lot of action throughout all the races here tonight. And I think I'll send a message to the boys for the mispronunciation of the names. But I'll work on the names for next time around.
So there you have it, your final results of the evening in terms of our final race. It's Wayne Walker who took the victory over Scott Flack, ahead of Matt Collins in 3rd position. It's David Baker in 4th, who held off Alpha Aksu in the closing stages of the race, ahead of Harrison Tebb and Christian Kond and Uri Benak, who had tough races, finishing 7th and 8th respectively. And that rounds off your field for the final race at Brands Hatch for this evening. Thank you very much for having me on the broadcast once again. I thoroughly enjoyed it. That was another thrilling night of racing action, and that was brilliant. It's one of the highlights of my week, as I said before. These British touring cars and the drivers of said touring cars know how to put on a show, and I love watching it, and I love talking about it. Thank you very much for having me on again.
Yeah, I'll definitely be back. Hopefully for next week. But thanks for having me as always, Shane. Really appreciate it, and always good to commentate alongside with you, Shane, as well as Jack. Been a pleasure, boys. Some fantastic racing, and I'll give my congrats to the boys with some messages in the Discord.